Hi everyone, this is Char with Ariana Stark. This is your weekly love reading for the week starting from 21st to 27 September 2020. Like always, I will cover all 12 sun signs in this reading. So in case you want to skip and go directly to your sun sign, then you can have a look at the timestamp given below in the description box. Like I said, I will rely on tarot for your overall reading, and I'll also use some oracle decks for a message from the universe. For Aries, we have the card Temperance, and I also have the card Signs. Certainly, you can expect harmony in your love life in case you are dating or in case you are romancing. I also believe that single Aries, you are going to be wooed and pursued, but then it's no point stringing someone along in case you are disinterested, though attention is always flattering from the opposite sex. Like I said, those who are romancing, I think there could also be certain signs from the universe that you need to pick up, or maybe you will get those intuitive feelings. So you should not overlook or ignore those things. Whatever it is, romancing Aries, your romantic life will be a bit harmonious. Maybe there'll be good conversations with your person. Those who are married, I think that you will be discussing work with your partner. Maybe he or she will acknowledge that you're right with respect to your decisions, with respect to work, that is. Basically, you will find that your person is going to be very supportive of you. On the other hand, those who are in an extramarital relationship, I think you need to understand that you should not live in a fool's paradise. You should have somebody around you who's a person whom you regard as a counselor or a confidant, may let it out or may let you know that you should also understand whether this person whom you're dealing with desires commitment or he is just playing the fool with your emotions. From Aries, I will move to Taurus. I have the card Six of Swords, and I also have the card Action. I think maybe Taurus, in case you're in a relationship, there could be situations when you may be undecided about how you should proceed, but then you're being called upon to take action. You could also hear from an ex-flame. Maybe you should not come across as someone who's very detached. Maybe you're someone who gives the relationship time and space, so that is why your person or the person whom you're dealing with, in case you're married as well, maybe the person thinks you're a bit aloof and distracted. I also feel that some of you may be dealing with a person who is quite touchy, or your partner is very demanding. Basically, Taurus, I think you should avoid disagreements. I think many of you may also be making travel plans in case there's a distance between you and your person. Maybe you want to travel, or maybe you want to meet up with your family members or somebody, so your partner may not want you to make that trip in case you're married, that is. I think also singles, you will also find that there'll be admirers, no doubt, so they may press for you to accept this offer, or their desire to form an attachment with you, or they wanting to know you better because they think time will slip away. Basically, you're being called upon to take action in case you want to proceed with the relationship, or in case you want to put it away, or you want to do away with it, that is. For Gemini, we have the card Sun. And I also have the card Guide. I think you should not be too temperamental, or you're dealing with someone who's quite temperamental in this week with respect to your love life. Single Geminis, I definitely feel your suitor will go all out to woo you. Or in case your loved ones are playing Cupid, you may not be too happy, or you may not warm up to the idea. That is why you're going to blow hot and cold. Those who have someone on their mind, you may think that the person is more spiritually inclined, or he doesn't desire commitment, but then you think divine guidance is there, so definitely you will try to understand what is the divine plan. That is why the card Guide, I think. Those who are married, I think you'll be concerned about your spouse's health. I think many of you may also be desiring commitment, or you want to settle down. Some of you may be also wanting to start a family of your own in case you're also married. Basically, you will want to assist each other also, whether at work or whatever, in case you're romancing or in case you're married. Sometimes you may also be a bit perturbed because your partner could be throwing tantrums. This could rattle you a bit, no doubt. From Gemini, I will move to Cancer. For Cancer, we have the card Star, and I also have the card Healing. You need to cleanse your system, no doubt. You need spiritual cleansing, whatever. For some of you also, I'm picking up that you could get spiritual dreams as well, or there could be visions. Many Cancerians also believe you could be dealing with a person whom you have known in a past life or whatever. Certainly, you will leave a lot of people smitten by your charm, or they'll be just going gaga over you. They are definitely making it explicit that they are interested in you. I think those who are romancing, you will be discussing work. Maybe those who are married, I think you will be a bit unnerved because your spouse may say that you can't account for anything without his support or without his help and assistance, but definitely give it back. You may also be resenting your in-laws as well. Maybe you will blame them for your unhappy marriage. You think that your in-laws and your husband or your spouse is someone who's taking spites on you. Basically, this relationship needs to heal. Let's move from Cancer to Leo. For Leo, we have the card 8 of Wands. And I also have the card Purge. 8 of Wands. For Leo's attention or even unwanted attention is coming your way from the opposite sex. Maybe a particular suitor will go all out to woo you, and even you have feelings for the person, but then you may not acknowledge, or you may hesitate. You may withdraw from the situation. On the other hand, those who have someone on their mind, you will continue to cyberstalk your crush. Maybe you're secretly in love, and you know that he's also a phone call away. You desire to communicate with him, but then I think you're not going to proceed. You're going to withdraw, retreat from the situation. Romancing Leos will definitely enjoy brief but profound conversations. I think you also need to purge. Here talks about spiritual healing and cleansing. So you need to get rid of those negative emotions as well. I'm also picking up that for some of you, there could be interference from other people. Like I said, unwanted attention is also coming your way, or somebody could want to talk about your relationship with your parents, or maybe your hush-hush romance, that is. But you are very affected because you would rather do it on your own terms or when you are ready. Maybe your partner will also want the romance to stay hush-hush. That is why you could question him as to why he wants it to remain that secretive, or why he wants to keep the relationship under wraps. Those who are married, I think your spouse could accuse you of neglecting him or her. Maybe you think it's unfair because you're always doing something or the other, or you're always attending to his needs, even if it's not so apparent. Maybe behind the scenes, he fails to see what you're doing. Largely, I think you needn't complain about an unhappy marriage, both sexes, that is. Maybe you should accept and you should acknowledge whatever appreciate the thoughtfulness or the little gestures that your person does for you. Let's move to Virgo. For Virgo, we have the card 10 of Swords. And I also have the card Divine Masculine. I think there'll be times when you will be thinking about the person or your special someone. Maybe an ex-flame may also want to try to contact you, or maybe you want to reach out to the person. Some of you may also be having prophetic dreams about your love or lover. I think you will also be helping each other at work. Perhaps you will be discussing work and you will come up with good suggestions, and that could help both of you. Whatever it is, Virgos, I definitely feel opposite sex will definitely try to get your attention. Maybe you are also going to come across as very flirtatious, but then you should not string anyone along in case you are disinterested. There's also some kind of negative energy which could affect your relationship this week between 21st to 27th September. On the other hand, those who are married, I think your spouse would be complaining about you being inattentive. Even your in-laws may never be happy, or they may never appreciate your goodness. Maybe you think that whatever you do for them is never going to be good enough for them. That leaves you a bit upset as well. Let's move to Libra. For Libra, we have 10 of Pentacles. Summer. Definitely summer could evoke some memories in you, or maybe also waiting for summer. Again, Librans, I think singletons, they could be flattered with the attention that is coming your way. Maybe an admirer will also want to break the ice, but then it's not possible. Maybe you trusted him. Proposal may also a marriage proposal, or even someone from a dating site, or somebody could play matchmaker this week. Maybe you're not interested in the person. On the other hand, those who are single, I think also a work-related romance is a possibility, or maybe you'll have discussions with respect to work with someone in your field, and that person could be taken up by your conversational skills or by the way you are carrying yourself at work, or with your achievements as well. But then he may want to remain in communication with you, or he may want to continue contact with you, but then you could put those limitations or boundaries on yourself. That could definitely affect the relationship. Married Librans, I think you could be a bit emotional and angry, as your in-laws may taunt at you, or they may say something which could be very unkind and which could affect you to no terms. Maybe you are thinking also, in case you are in an extramarital relationship, maybe you think that you have a relationship outside of marriage and that person would culminate in marriage, and that could be a happy ever after ending that you are desiring. For Scorpio, we have the card 8 of Pentacles, and I also have the card Winter. Certainly, this is a time to polish your skills, or you need to work on the relationship, or you need to nurture it. For some singles, I think you can also expect a proposal on an online site, or maybe a marriage proposal. Maybe somebody is playing matchmaker, but these are early days. You may also think there's an age difference, or there's incompatibility in the relationship, so it may not work out. Those who are yearning for someone, or those who have someone on their mind, or those who are in a relationship, I think your partner or you could be bogged down on account of work, so there's hardly any communication. But sometimes there'll be a lot of communication, or there could be frequent conversations, but sometimes there could be hardly anything to write home about. Those who are in a hush-hush relationship, I think you need to also be careful, because maybe somebody could talk about your relationship. Largely, I think Scorpions, you'll be desiring commitment from your partner, or maybe you want the family members to accept the relationship. Some of you may also be dealing with a former lover, but then you have moved on. Other than that, those who are married, I think that in case you're in an unhappy marriage, you may realize that the person or your spouse is someone who has everybody under his thumb. So this means that the marriage could be very oppressive as well, and that you may acknowledge that the person is very overbearing. So that is why the card Winter, I think that means that this relationship is gone cold. Winter is a significant time for you. It could evoke some memories, or there's something to look forward in the winter months. Let's move to Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, I have the card 8 of Swords, and I also have the card Solitude. Sagittarius, in case you're in an on-again, off-again relationship, I think this is the best time if you want to communicate with the person, rather than withdraw into a shell, or rather than be closed off. If you are trying to reconnect with the person, I think this is the best time to express your feelings. I think both of you will acknowledge your feelings for each other. Those who are romancing, I think you should also be very careful, because there's some negative energy around you. Maybe you need to do spiritual cleansing to heal this relationship. Sometimes you may find that you need time away from each other, so you will long for solitude in the relationship as well. Those who are already married, I think married Sagittarians, I think sometimes you may find that the relationship could be very oppressive, or think that the person is ignoring you. Or you may also find that you're being criticized or censured for no rhyme or reason. So that could mean that you want to be on your own. You will enjoy the bliss of solitude. For Capricorn, we have the card Ace of Pentacles, and we also have the card Deception. Certainly, fate has a big hand to play in this relationship in this week, and it has a big part to play. That is, I think many of you may be discussing work with your person or with your partner. Definitely you have love on your mind, but then work could also keep you preoccupied. So maybe there's hardly any time to communicate or indulge in love talk, and you will accept the situation because there's hardly much you can do about it. Single Capricorns, I think you will find that some people will be playing matchmaker. Maybe there could be proposals on matrimonial sites or dating sites as well, but it may not work out. Again, those who are married, I think some kind of deception is also involved in your relationship. Maybe you should maintain your poise and not get exasperated if you're being blamed for no rhyme or reason. Basically, it's no point overreacting, even though you're furious from internally, that is. Maybe you will also feel that your partner is being deceptive, because in case you're in an unhappy marriage, your person may want to tell others about your marriage not being great, and you want to keep it behind closed doors, so even you're not being honest about it. But whatever it is, you don't want your partner to wash dirty linen in public. So some kind of deception is definitely at play in your relationship in this week. Let's move to Aquarius. For Aquarius, we have the card Nine of Swords, and I also have the card Muse. Certainly, single Aquarians, I think you leave somebody heartbroken, and in fact, for some of you, in case you have feelings for someone, even you may feel a bit heartbroken also. Maybe you are being spurned or you are being rejected. So like you see this card here, this lady is feeling a bit low and down and out, that is. Whatever it is, I think those who have someone on the mind, you will continue to cyberstalk your crush. You wish he would acknowledge his feelings for you. Maybe this person is also helping you advance in your career. Maybe he's inspiring you at work. Romancing Aquarians, I think you'll enjoy phone conversations. Maybe you are going to, like I said, you're going to help each other at work, or maybe you'll get good advice. Whatever it is, you're coming across as someone who is very intelligent. So you should reciprocate and you should compliment the person as well. So it will help in keep the flirtatious relationship going, or it will help in the romance, keep the romance alive. Maybe it would help if you would show more affection. Married Aquarians, I think infidelity could be a factor, or you may find your partners always nitpicking or finding faults with you, so that makes it a bit oppressive. From Aquarius, I will move to Pisces. Pisces, we have the card Four of Swords, and I also have the card Admired. Definitely, single Pisces, you are not going to string anyone along. You are very admired by the opposite sex, but then you may be closed off. You may not be interested in forming a relationship with the person who is showing more than a passing interest in you. Maybe your admirers or those people who are interested in you will also make small talk with you. Perhaps, Pisces, you have someone else on your mind, and that is why you will continue to cyberstalk the person in secret. You admire him from a distance, no doubt. Some of you may also be feeling the heat because your family members may be opposed to your growing attachment for someone. Other than that, those who are romancing as well, I think you have to deal with brief conversations. Maybe your partner's away on account of work, or there's a physical distance between you and your person in this week which you have to handle. Married Pisces, I think you will be a bit upset because of inane arguments. Maybe words are not held important. So you want that importance in the relationship. Maybe your partner may also think that you're not attentive to his or her needs. For some of you, I'm also picking up that domestic violence could also be a factor, or the health of a loved one could also be a cause for concern in this week. Other than that, I think many Pisces will also be quite happy because your spouse makes financial gains in this week. So that is why you are going to admire him for his success. I hope everyone you liked your weekly love reading. This is Star with Ariana Stark. Please give us your feedback in the comment section. I would also like to add here that this weekly love reading is published every week. This is Ariana Stark signing off. Take care. Bye. Till the next time.